Hello Newcastle fans TV and welcome to the final group games of all the round 2 of the fixtures at Euro 2016. We've got 3 games of course to run through, so let's jump onto it straight away and let's get on to the Irish. Really disappointing for the Republic of Ireland going down 3-0 to Belgium. I felt this was quite a one-sided affair, to be honest. Ireland, this is possibly one of the worst games I've seen Ireland play in probably in a good 2 to 3 years. I felt it was shocking going forward. They just offered nothing. I don't understand why Robbie Keane wasn't brought on a lot earlier for me. I know he came on, but don't understand why he wasn't brought on. So let's get into the action. So the first half, it was all Belgium, but they weren't being clinical enough in my eyes. Alderweireld was the closest where she had a header which was clear off the line, but apart from that, didn't offer a great deal going forward from both sides. The second half, though, we had a blitz of goals. So the first one coming just after the just after half time. De Bruyne did brilliantly on the right flank, and then he's beating players left, right, and centre. And then he feeds it to Lukaku on the edge of the box, and he drills it low past Randolph. 1-0 up. Belgium firing. Now I thought, you know what it is? It's going to be curtains. I cannot say Ireland coming back into this. And just after the hour mark, they made the double lead. Cross comes in, McCarthy, no man's land, loses his man, and bang, Witsel scores. Now Axel Witsel, who sounds like he's a cartoon character and looks like one, he heads home with his afro. 2-0 up, game over, I have to say. 70 minutes, the third goal come. Lukaku scores again, but on this time it's on the counter-attack. I don't know what Kieran Clark is doing, flinging himself, and then Hazard's on the run. Ireland looking very vulnerable at the back, and then Hazard plays in Lukaku, who from about near enough to the penalty spot drills it bottom corner, and it's 3-0. Game over. Looking at that group table, if you look at that now, Ireland have got it all to do to qualify. Italy are already group winners, that's been confirmed. Belgium, they're up against Sweden next. So Ireland's best hope is third position because they're not going to get second place now because of their goal difference. So it's one of the best third place teams, and a draw is not going to be good enough. Ireland need to go out and beat Italy. But on the positive for the Irish, Antonio Conte has come out and said that he will be resting all his stars, so it's going to be a reserve side. I know I take a bit of Mickey on banter with some of the home nations on Twitter, but I generally do, as I've said many times. I want Ireland to go far. I would like to see them get out this group. If they get out this group, it would be fantastic. So they do have to win, and 4 points should be enough to get you through in third place. Right then, so moving on to this evening's game, tea time game. It was Iceland, who had a fantastic draw against Portugal. They were up against Hungary, so that finished in a 1-1 draw. Bigger to Bjardsson, who then went close in the first half, not far off a header. And then on the 31st minute, Goodmanson outmuscles former Magpie Thomas Kadar, but it's a weak shot. He couldn't wrap his left foot around it, and Corrali was to save it. On the 39 minutes, though, that's when the goal come. Sigurdsson, the brother of Gylfi Sigurdsson, was fouled in the box. Corrali dropped the corner. Is it a penalty? Some people are saying it is. He's making a meal of it, but for me, that is a penalty. I know it's not a blatant penalty, but if that was against England or Newcastle, you'd be shouting for that. You would. So then Sigurdsson steps up. I thought he's doing it risky. He's only given the ball about 3 or 4 yards space. Now players like to do long run up. He's only given a little short space, but he scored anyways. He put the goalkeeper the wrong way. Iceland won up, fantastic. I have to say, Iceland's support is fucking brilliant. I've seen it in the 2 games now. The chants that they do remind me of North of the Wall of Game of Thrones. Anybody who watches Game of Thrones will know what I mean. They look like wildlings, raw, raw, and they do that. It's mad. But that was the more or less the first half. Going into the second half, it was practically. I felt it was quite a dull affair. There's been a few games recently in the second game which have been quite dull. I think that'll pick up definitely because obviously the third game, nations are going to have to go out and win. So in the 88th minute, Sigurdsson unluckily puts it into his own net. Hungary on the right on the attack. It was going to be a goal anyway, so even if he didn't touch it, it was going to go in the back of the net anyway. So it was good build-up play on the right, and the Sigurdsson just slides it in. Hungary level on 88 minutes. I'm like. On a personal note, it was good to see Ida Gudjohnsen. I've followed his career ever since he started at Bolton, very on in his early on in his career, and he got that £4 million move to Chelsea. He come on, Ida Gudjohnsen, so it was nice to see him score. Almost score. So literally in the last minute, Iceland had a free kick, but Sigurdsson was stepped over it, and then it was blocked on the wall, and they come back to Gudjohnsen, who fires it, and it was deflected just wide. Unlucky, really unlucky at that effort, but Iceland got a point out of that game. We'll come on to the group table in a minute because we've got a lot to talk about against the next game, which we're going to move on to now, which is Portugal 0, Austria 0. And we all know that we're going to be talking about Ronaldo quite a lot. He's got a lot of stick. I'm going to stick up for Ronaldo towards the end. You'll see why. So Sabitzer whips across in, and Harnik, that was Austria's best chance from 4 yards. He puts it wide. I know it hit off the top of his head, but for me, you've got to get that at target, man. You've got to get that at target. And then it was literally, except from one other chance that Austria had in the game, it was all an onslaught. You've had Nani had a couple of chances. You had Ronaldo with a couple of chances. He should have scored, though. He side foot, where he tried to be a little bit too precise when he tries to go and side foot it. Nani hit the post as well from across in the first half. The other chance that Austria had in that first half was the Alaba free kick from a tight area just off the right corner flank. He whips it in, and Verina just brilliantly get a touch on it and header it away. It was a fantastic clearance. So going into the break 0-0, Austria had a chance straight away in the 46th minute where El Sanka, who had a drive, which Rio Patricio palms it away. But except from that, it was all Ronaldo. Ronaldo was pinging them with his left foot. He was pinging them with his right foot. He's had a header saved. Alma had a decent game in the Austria net. And then the moment come when he was dragged back for a penalty. Blatant penalty it was. And then Ronaldo steps up and then he hits the post. And it's like, this is not his day. It's not Ronaldo's day. I'm like, fuck me. I've never seen him miss so many chances. And then to make things worse, at the end, he has an offside goal. He has a goal disallowed for offside, which he was clearly offside, to be fair. But I've read some horrible stats. It doesn't look good. Ronaldo's had more shots than 9 other nations combined put together in the Euros. That's a shocking stat. He's got the worst conversion ever in Euros for free kicks. He's only scored 1 out of 5 penalties. Some idiots are saying it's a decline. It's not a decline. He's just, I think he actually played really well tonight. It was all, except from a couple of Nani chances, it was all Portugal. And I feel it's a little bit unfair for him and to put the blame on Ibrahimovic for Sweden when these are world-class talents. You've got to play 7 games to win this tournament. World-class players will not have 7 world-class games. They'll have 4 or 5. And that's when you need your squad to step up and hit the mark. Because at the minute, no one else except from Ronaldo at the minute is stepping up for Portugal. Yes, you could say Nani's had a couple of chances. Looking at Sweden, I think they've already got a championship side. So it just goes to show you do need your team. It's not a one-man team. It's the same as Messi. If he went Argentina, put that debate out. This is not Ronaldo-Messi debate before anyone gets in the comments box. It's not. So I think Ronaldo will come good in the next game. I think he'll get off the mark. He's really unlucky. Yes, he did play poor. He did. But it was only him who was shown that in the especially second half. It was like Ronaldo versus Austria. So looking at the group then, surprisingly, Hungary topped the group on 4 points from 2 games, and then you've got Iceland and Portugal. I did actually say, my regulars will watch this, I did say Portugal would struggle, did I not? I did say it, and you can't rely on one man. They're on 2 points, and then Austria who are on the 1 point. So it's all to play for. It is all to play for. The group is that tight. If you look at that, man, it's only 3 points from top to bottom. It's so marginal. Let me know what you think of all of today's action in your comments down there below. And do check out, we have a Newcastle video which has went live today, so check that out as well. Thanks for watching Newcastle Fans TV. I've been Lee, and I'll see you later.